Darkstar Astrology, bringing you the full moon on the 7th of May. It's at 17 degrees of Scorpio. It forms part of a streamer aspect pattern and it's opposite Mercury. So this is a moon about live streaming intel and the importance of direct and honest communication. So Scorpio Decan 2, the moon in there, has a childhood curiosity. It's also extremely tender and affectionate. But the moon is in its full here, however, so the energies evoked at this time are lustful and desirous, with much focus on seduction. The moon here needs sexual relationships and adores the courtship process, especially with the quincunx from Venus, which is in her shadow retrograde phase at the moment. So prepare for dark Cupid ex-lovers coming back into your life if you have connections to any planets in this streamer pattern. And we'll look at it. It's got the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus and Neptune in it. And the Moon trine Neptune will add a master manipulator into the stew. So those touched by this full moon might be lucky enough to find they can pull in anyone they want into their labyrinth of love. Although under these circumstances, it might be quite hard for them to actually get someone in physically into it, but definitely via the internet. So be careful of catfishing, because it will be easy for this moon in Scorpio 2 to put you under a spell. Well, maybe they have. And this is the Moon of Sirens, the song that hypnotizes sailors. Edward Snowden, who has the moon natally at this position, is a great example of the clandestine side of this decan in his leaking of classified information about various global surveillance systems. And my God, isn't this coming into the news right now? But Snowden was spying on the spying, so the fixed stars also found in this decan indicate scandalous love relationships, because it wells up such intense romantic needs that we will do anything to get them fulfilled. I guess there must be loads of really frustrated people around at the moment. So Zuben el-Janubi is the main star of the unlucky southern scale of Libra, which is where the moon is for this lunation. And according to Robson, it causes malevolence, obstruction, an unforgiving character, violence, disease, lying, crime, disgrace, and danger of poison. Oh my God. So yeah, okay. That's the crown flute. The two scales of Libra used to be the claws of Scorpio, which was a much larger constellation. So they fit very well here in tropical Scorpio. Zuben means claw and is the prefix for all the stars that fall in the scales. Libra is a very small constellation, and 6 of the 9 stars here fall in Scorpio Decan 2. So it's very Libra Decan, even though it is Scorpio. So we could say that Scorpio Decan 2 might be the true sidereal Librans, and the actual constellation of the scales, though, has a very different vibe than Venus-ruled tropical sign of Libra. And you can see that Zuben el-Janubi is most definitely scorpionic, as Dr. Eric Morse writes. It is well to remember here the association of the star with a scorpion's claw, used for making love as well as for slaying its prey. It does not let go until one or other matter is complete, and onlookers are not sure which of the two acts are in process. Sometimes even the Scorpio seems to get it wrong along the way. So it's interesting to see where Scorpio gets its femme fatale or lady killer reputation. Morse continues that this star frequently shows up ill-aspected in many unfortunate situations, from domestic strife and miscarriages of justice to psychopathic killings that started out in the guise of love. Be careful who you meet online. Its appearance in better aspect, though, is often just the right moment to repair a relationship and to reconsider an earlier harsh judgment. So, I mean, that's a good opportunity for Venus retrograde as well, which is about to start. So the aspect is, well, the main aspect really is Moon opposite Mercury, which is a very nervous aspect. So there's danger of needing to self-medicate to calm down. At this time, self-medication can result in addiction. All in all, this aspect can generate survivor instincts because of its ability to adapt chameleon-like to its environment. It can manifest as a magic wand once we have come to peace with ourselves and tamed the mind to work with our intuition. Those touched by this full moon will feel highly strung, so they need to put their energies into something creative through which they can channel their restlessness. This aspect creates a synergy or conflict between the rational mind and gut instincts. The agitation creates a strong internal drive, which is constantly in a state of flux, like the tides washing in and out. So very moody, really, this full moon. So this is the face of Scorpio, the decan, according to the Picatrix. It's a man riding upon a camel, holding a Scorpio in his hand. And this is a face of knowledge, modesty, disposition, of one who speaks evilly one to another. Evilly, that's a good adjective. So yes, communication, evil communications are quite high on the agenda for this full moon. So as I said, it is part of this aspect pattern known as the streamer, according to the Huber astrology system. And it looks like an upside down kite in this configuration, with the full moon as the spine. Venus square Neptune crosses the opposition, while Mercury sextiles Neptune. The moon also is quincunx Venus as well. So the definition of the streamer, it can flow in either direction in a river without losing balance. It is also a cable layer who can deal with currents and high voltages, or he can be a policeman who controls and directs the traffic. In any case, this figure likes to control powerful forces. He wants to direct and even generate currents, e.g. trends in fashions and art, current trends or other people's mental preference. This is nevertheless perceived as manipulation or interference in the private sphere and provokes emotional reactions. This, then, is indeed a full moon for covert operations, propaganda and big-time sorcery. So expect some phenomenal magic with this Scorpio trickster moon. So what are we going to talk about today? I think, the streamer is very interesting because they're dealing with currents and high voltages. I was thinking of laying cables, and is all the 5G being rolled out as well? And I've seen a lot of work with people maybe laying cables down. I don't know. So there's that. And then I was thinking about how everything seems to be seductive. Like the way that power is now, the way that we're being slowly having our freedoms eroded voluntarily, like we are volunteering to be imprisoned in our houses. You know, we were actually begging for it. I was begging for it. In the beginning, when I didn't know any better, I was so scared. And like I said, you know this. If you've been watching before, that I wanted to take my daughter out of school. I was scared of, I thought, yeah, lockdown, we need lockdown. And now I think, Jesus, how the hell did Italy and Spain cope with not being able to even just go out of their house, their personal freedom of just being able to walk on the beach? I just cannot believe they agreed to it. But you'd agree to anything out of fear. And this is what's worrying, because this can now be, because people did actually comply quite well to this. I mean, we still are. There've been protests in America, and I think America, good on them. I think they're the only country that have had any protests. None of Europe have. I know southern Italy had some crime. The old mafiosi, but people, I think people I can't believe how obedient people were. People that I wouldn't imagine would be, and how people queued up so well. And honestly, it was quite weird, really, because we've got this support group in my road, and it's been really, this is one of the nice things. I needed an Allen key to install my new desk, which is here. my lovely new black desk. And I didn't have one big enough, so I asked the support group at our road, and somebody said, oh yeah, I've got some in the shed. When I went to pick it up, it was really weird because he put the keys on a... I'm so stupid. I went to pick up the tray that he handed me them on, and he said, no, just take the box. I'm like, oh yeah. So he was trying to be he was trying to be hygienic, wasn't he? But I didn't get it. Stupid me, because in my head it's nothing to worry about, but then I go out into the world and forget that everyone's worried about it. So there's that. But that's the thing, people, I'm so surprised everyone's been so obedient and so compliant, and that is really, really worrying, because if people have been this compliant this time, and people snitching on each other, that's the worst thing. What is it going to be like the next time? And there will be a next time, because I've been listening to Agenda 21. Oh, that's scary as well. Trying to move people into cities. And again, they seem to be doing this. This is the weird thing. They seem to be doing this much more in America. I guess because they've got so much space as well, and they can develop these, new smart cities. And with all the population that's coming in from South America, I guess that they're probably going to do that. I think it's going to end up being like in England, where you've got cities which vote one way, and then the country people who vote another, and that's going to be the segregation. That's how it's going to segregate. So there's that, and then we've got Venus retrograde coming up, which makes me think that it's because people obviously can't go out and meet new people. I think people are rummaging around for their exes because it's familiar, it's people that they know. So yeah, you reach back for what's familiar, and they probably, I don't know, it's like as if you're going to know what diseases they have. But anyway, yeah, they're more likely to go for their exes. So I think that a lot of that will be happening. The X factor with Venus retrograde. And yeah, and another thing about this seduction and making things seem, it's killing me softly, which is so Scorpio, and so this decan of Scorpio, where this whole Agenda 21 is cloaked in this. It's good for the environment. You're a good person if you do this because it's good for the environment. You don't, no cars. You'll be able to walk to work. You'll have solar panels, which are actually quite bad for the environment as well. And so are those wind machine things, whatever they are. They're terrible for birds and anything flying. So it's all cloaked in this, but it's so good for the environment, and we're doing it for the better of humanity, and everyone should be equal and have access to healthcare and blah blah blah. All of this is cloaked in niceness, and this whole thing as well. Stay safe, as that really bugs me. So anyone like me who says anything different seems like a real bitch. How can you be so... Like, this is what somebody said, because I said I think the whole thing's hilarious. I didn't mean that people dying is hilarious. I'm saying that this situation, because when you look at the facts and you listen, there's enough information now on the internet to tell you what the truth is about this. And Germany, the reason that their figures are so low is because they're not counting their cause of death. If they happen to have it at the same time, that's not mentioned. Whereas in other countries, and probably America as well, is that they're putting the cause of death as COVID. Oh God, I've said it now. I have to bleep it. Putting the cause of death as that, even if it's just with it. So it's like saying, you died of cancer while you had a cold, and the cold killed you. So yeah, so that's what's happening. And also, where are the figures for the flu? Like, who's just died of flu this year? Because that's the thing. You know, flu is a killer. It's no joke. It's no joke. So I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing that it's crazy that we're all imprisoned in our houses and willing to do that, and not have jobs and crash businesses, and they're all small businesses that are being crashed, not the big companies that can get bailouts. Freaking Richard Branson wanting a bailout because he can't run his multi-million travel company. You know, but what about the normal person who runs events or whatever? No bailouts for them. Although, yeah, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be for the self-employed. So we'll see if those actually manifest. But yeah, all this has happened because of very genius sorcery and manipulation over the flu and its figures, because it's so easy to put that on top of that. You can so easily do that. The elites or whatever, they must be just laughing. They must be thinking this is too easy. This is too easy. People are asking for this. They're asking for it. You know, they don't need to put chains on us. And so this is very, very worrying, because I'm scared. I'm scared for the future of my descendants, because, God, and also I don't want to be reborn in this place if, like, in 100 years' time, it's just some horrible, horrible high-rise city, and the countryside is a no-go area. I mean, unless you're very rich and you've got your country house, because that's probably what it's going to be, isn't it? You know, if you've got money, you'll have access to the countryside. If not, you're in a high-rise. Horrible. Anyway, so those are my thoughts for this full moon, and I'll see you next time. All the best. Bye-bye.